Warning, you are about to enter the BGP suite. No thongs, no boy shorts, no thigh highs, no commandos are permissible. BGP, big girl panties only. So pull up to woman up. And no, please don't leave with your panties in a bunch.
Hello, and welcome to BGP. Today we're just going to go right into Mr. West, Kanye West. It seems like every day something is going on with this fella. Just last night I heard that he has been banned from the Grammys. He cannot perform at the Grammys due to his recent rant on Instagram. Apparently the host of the Grammys is Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah. And those two got into a little heated discussion. I think he was throwing some racist slurs out there and everything. Yes. So they ended up banning him. I heard it last night when I was watching 11 o'clock news. And again, first thing this morning, it was all over the news. He has been nominated for 5 Grammys and he can't even attend due to the things that he was saying. I guess, FCC is very strict on things that can be said. And they felt like some of the stuff he was saying was threatening, that it was racist, and just made for an uncomfortable situation for the upcoming host, for the host that's going to be there.
Hold up. Right there, how this media propaganda machine, the FCC for the Grammys. He ain't said nothing on the Grammys yet.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
And I was going to touch on that because I'm like, we talk about this freedom of speech thing, and he hasn't even really said anything directly. He hasn't said anything on the Grammys. So how are they able to ban him? But nevertheless, Instagram, Facebook, all these social media sites now have these rules in place where you have to be very careful what you say, whether it's political, racist, whatever. I mean, even lately, I've been put in Facebook jail for stuff I didn't even say, but something that my followers responded to in a way. So it's really weird the way they're banning things now. My question to you all about Mr. West is we have watched him over the years kind of spiraling. Even prior to his mom's death, a lot of people say that they think that his mental health issues came really strong after his mom's death, which I feel they did. But I always saw a little touch of strange behavior in him prior to that. And now along with this thing with him getting this divorce, do you think that his spiral out of control right now what do you think is directly coming from?
I think he's not taking his medication.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not clowning. I'm just saying I really think he's not taking it. And there are some people that, once they're diagnosed and they're, treated and told to take their medication, they feel like after they take it a certain period of time, like, oh, I don't need it.
Yes.
I don't need it anymore.
So true.
And when they do that, you start to see that those outbursts and that behavioral change in that person because they stop taking that medication for mental health. So I kind of think he's spiraling because of it. And then it doesn't help that, he's going through a divorce. So, yeah, I think that's part of it.
What do you call spiraling out of control?
It just seems like he goes on these crazy rants. He attacks people for no reason. Like him and D.L. Hughley just recently got into it. Just a lot of stuff that just seems quite strange. I know some of it may stem from the fact that I don't think Kim, knowing who he was when she got with him, is...
Hold up.
Yeah.
Before you go there.
Okay.
For me, Kanye has always been Kanye.
Yeah.
Kanye is not doing anything that Kanye normally does not do. He says what the hell he wants to say, when he wants to say it, wherever he wants to say it at. So this spiraling out of control type of situation is something that I don't really want to use, for him. He's a musical genius. He does what the hell he wants to do, and he talks the way he wants to talk. Now, you just said Kim did not know who he was. Like hell, she didn't.
No. I believe she did know. She does know who she was getting with, and the fact that she's not even his wishes with not letting the babies get on TikTok. She still allows them to do that anyway. It's like she doesn't respect him, knowing the type of person that he is. I mean, she should respect his wishes anyway. Those are his children. But knowing who he is, it's like she just does whatever. And that part, I think, attributes to his, what I call a spiral. But it's just, his mental health just seems to be more out of control than it has been in the past. Would you agree, or you think it's always pretty much the same?
I disagree.
Okay.
I agree. I think it is, because, like I said, I don't think he's taking his medication. For those that I've come across, I've seen people who take medication for what he has been diagnosed with, how they are versus when they haven't taken their medication. Like, I had a boss that was bipolar. When he took his medication, he was an angel. Like, everything was smooth. Everything was good in the office. Everything was great. When he didn't take his medication, he didn't shave. He act weird. Wow. He would say he hear things. He see things that we didn't see. He physically attacked a former employee. Like, just, they do different things. They're very confrontational. Just some of the things that I see him do, I'm just like, oh, he's off. He's off. Like, and I don't like to just start it off like as a joke, like, oh, he's off his meds, you know. But my opinion, and I'm not a doctor, but you can tell that he's not on his medication. And 1 minute, you know, he's saying like, yeah, I can't see my kids. And then like 30 minutes later, he's in a video with his kids somewhere at an event, you know. So it's like, he's doing things, in my opinion, for attention. And I'm not taking up for Kim because that ain't my business. But at the same time, I just feel like she got her hands full. I don't know. It couldn't be me. I put it that way. But yeah.
Yeah. Do you think she brought this new man into her life rather quickly? And it's one thing to just date, but to bring somebody around your children, that's a little bit more. And I don't know. Allegedly, she was bringing Pete Davidson, I think is the last name, the SNL comedian, around the children, and Kanye disapproved.
Let's go back for 1 second. Doesn't every couple experience emotional stress whenever a breakup occurs?
Absolutely.
Okay, and a lot of people act out.
True.
And he's doing it in the public. He's going through a divorce right now.
True.
And I think what he's struggling with is the familiar. He's lost control of his family, of his children. I don't know why, but everybody goes through certain things when they break up.
Yeah.
You know, so why is he so different right now? Why are we trying to label him as out of control? There are emotions that are involved. You know, he's not the head of the household anymore. He's not staying in the same house with his children, although he moved, you know, he bought
right
a house across the street.
Exactly.
However, that's still not the same.
True.
And there was a marriage there. There was a connection there. So now Kim has moved on. We can see it. It's very apparent that she's done. But Kanye has not moved on. He's struggling with that process. And what he needs to do is learn how to begin to relate to Kim as her ex-husband. So I don't believe he's crazy because he wants to see his children. I don't believe he's crazy because he wants his children to go to a better school. I don't think he's crazy because he doesn't want his 8-year-old daughter to be on TikTok. Exactly. We know what happens on the internet. And any other thing that he's talking about, he wants the children to go to church. What he doesn't understand is that you are an ex-husband.
Right.
What goes on in Kim Kardashian's house is no longer your business per se. Now, they say they are co-parenting, and that sounds like a good thing, but now what she wants to do might not fit into what he wants to do at the time. The day he wanted to have one of his children come to church so he can get to a game for one of the other children, Kim had already let one of the children, because I don't know other names, have a sleepover.
Right.
And sometimes that's going to happen, Kanye. Sometimes, you know, and you're going to have to figure it out and learn you're not always going to get your way.
True.
Yeah.
True. I think, too, it even probably goes even deeper than that for him, with him not having a father in his life and wanting to be an active father in the home. So it's probably painful to watch this, to go through this process and this be your new normal and be okay with it. What is it, 5 kids? 4 kids? Four kids.
Yeah.
And now, just like when we had the gentleman on here about, you know, not being in your kid's life any longer, I'm sure it affects him, you know, greatly. But I think his behaviors, like you said, he's probably off of his medication. Has he ever came out and said what he's been diagnosed with? Is it just bipolar?
Yeah, he was diagnosed with bipolar. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he admits to that.
I believe at one point he did. But
okay.
But I when it first happened like years ago, I remember when it first came out that he was diagnosed with as being bipolar and he had to take medication. Right. And I think Kim talked about it in an interview at one point in time about it too. Like that's why she tries to get him to, you know, be on his medication. And like I remember there was a point in time when he, you know, spazzed out. I think it was like maybe a year ago or two, like during the time frame when he decided he was running for president and he was, you know, going off on, what's her name? The mother. Chris. He was going off on her and Twitter and all that stuff, and he was saying this stuff, and they had interviewed Kim about it or whatever, and she was just like, you know, sometimes my husband doesn't take his medication, and when that happens, this happens. I hate when it happens. Like she was trying to, you know, smooth it out because the media, you know, they was all, you know, asking her thoughts on why he was behaving the way that he behaves. So yeah, he was diagnosed with it. Yeah. He was.
Right. And I do know that some people, when they have been on meds for a long time, they start not liking how it makes them feel, or they feel like, oh, I'll be okay without it. Not realizing that's the only reason why you're behaving halfway decent is because you are on the medication. So I can imagine it being very difficult for him to be okay with that, because it does alter your whole way of, some people feel like they're just a zombie. It's a sad place to be.
Yeah.
So back to your Pete Davidson question.
Yeah, Pete Davidson. Do you think that he was allowed to come around the children far too quickly? I don't even think they're completely divorced at this point. But when you have a relationship that begins to go sour and you guys are separated, should there be an agreement on who comes around the children?
We definitely doing a topic on that. As far as her moving quick, she moved real quick, in my opinion. She wasn't even divorced yet and was already like, I'm with this one now. But if you look at her patterns in the past with her relationships, that's how she's moved. Before one is already completely over, she's already doing her thing. Same with the Kanye. When she got with Kanye, she was already going through that divorce/annulment with her other husband from the basketball player.
Exactly.
Et cetera. So she doesn't really stay single. I don't think she knows how to be single. So she'll jump into something. Was it too quick to me to be around kids? For me, yes. But from what I understand by Mr. West, he made it very clear that no man is to be around our kids, more specifically Pete. That's why Pete be like, he said it in text messages that it came out, like, I'm just trying to be nice from a girl.
I just read that.
You know, I can't be around your kids, but I just hope one day that we can change that. Like, so clearly he's not allowed to be around them per Mr. West.
What's your opinion on that, Mo?
I think it's very scandalous for any man to get with a woman that's going through a divorce. And I think because that is something that is very sad, and they're struggling, you know, during that time, that's a selfish act. That's a selfish act on Kim, and it's a selfish act on that young man. Matter of fact, he is only 28 years old, so I guess, you know, he's doing childish things, you know. But yeah, going through a divorce. I wouldn't want to be with someone that's going through a divorce because there's a chance that they may get back, and you don't want to be, part of a rebound relationship. But yeah, and especially knowing who Kanye West is, how he feels about his children, that he does not want to get a divorce. So yeah, I think she moved a little too quickly, but like Neisha said, she moves quick. She got married. She's been married 3 times. He's never been married. She got married at 19 to a man 10 years older than her. And then, she said she was on ecstasy during that marriage. And then she was on ecstasy when she did the sex tape with Ray J. And then, like Neisha said, she went on to get married to Chris Humphries, and that lasted 72 days.
Right.
And while they were going through that divorce, then she was with Kanye.
Yep.
And
so
all the other men in between, the football player.
Yes, Reggie Bush.
Yeah, that's
Reggie
right.
Bush,
Yep.
Nick Cannon,
Yep.
Ms.Lishey.
Yep.
She is
Ray J.
Ray J. She's a shoe without the H.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
she's been like
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Right.
So it shouldn't be surprising to Kanye that his wife moves like that, because that's how he got her.
That's right. Yep.
True.
There you go.
True.
Yep.
So yeah, I think Pete Davidson needs to mind his freaking business and not add fuel to the fire.
Right.
But I mean, if I'm not a man, but if I was in Pete's position, right, 28, and I have one of the most quote unquote sought after A-list stars coming at me, and I know this could be really beneficial for my career.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And she's going through a divorce and whatnot. I don't know. I might jump on it too and be like, because when we break up, I'm probably gonna have book deals. I'm probably gonna have more access to invites that I probably normally wouldn't be invited to. I'm probably gonna have more quote unquote women coming for me because I was with a Kardashian.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I can see why he jumped on it. Like he's like, shit, this is the perfect opportunity. Why not? All I gotta do is give her some.
And they say that's nice.
And that's what I hear. I hear he's nice.
nice.
I hear that. That's what I hear. So I mean, like, I can't be mad at him. I'm not. And let's
Peter,
be and
Pete.
Yep. And let's be clear. Kanye is sitting there. He getting with other women too.
Absolutely.
He's not sitting there
out
just
Yes.
woe is me. I'm so single. What am I gonna do?
Right.
He done been in two relationships.
True.
He got 2 Kim K lookalikes. 2.
Sure did.
2.
Yep.
So.
And I was reading an article with Trevor Noah sharing that he felt this reminded him of a situation when his mom and dad were going through a divorce, and I think it was his father or the father's boyfriend, somebody got extremely violent and ended up killing somebody. So he said, not that he thinks that Kanye would get that violent, but he sees it going in that direction.
Yep.
So do you think Kim has anything to fear with him, number one, being off his medication? Could he potentially be to the point where he would get violent?
I don't know about violent, but I do know that like the stalkish behavior that they, show.
Right.
The all of a sudden I'm gonna move right across the street from you kind of thing.
Right.
The like looking at everything she does and posting about it,
All the time.
and the messages she's sending, he's catching and sharing. Like, I don't know. Some of that stuff to me, like, I'll put it like this, because I'm in agreement with Mr. Hewley. If my daughter was in that situation, I would not be comfortable. I wouldn't. If that was my daughter.
Right.
I would not be comfortable.
Right.
I would definitely be encouraging her. Make sure you have security.
Restraining
Make sure.
orders.
I don't know about restraining orders because I want him to be around his kids, but I would definitely like the supervised, visitation when he's come. Like, you can come get the kids. I'll make sure I'm not around. You have the kids. You have your time. But some of that stuff that he does right now is a little creepy.
A little scary,
right?
right?
It's a little creepy to me.
I thought so too. I mean, only because, like, I know you don't like the word spiraling, but he used to be just if you could say it this way, a little bit crazy. Now he seems like he done went all the way to the left to me. And does he have the potential to do something violent? I mean, he could. It just seems like he's getting worse. And unless somebody put him on some type of or monitor him a little bit more closely, he very well could. I mean, you hear about it all the time. So and so snapped, went and shot him, killed up all the whole family, and here we are. What you think, Mo? No?
I am not going to help the media or y'all or Trevor or DL Hughley or anybody paint this man as a stalker. I'm not going to help you paint him as a man that's potentially violent. Has Kanye West had a history of killing anybody?
Not of killing, no.
Has Kanye West had a history of doing bodily harm to anybody?
Yes, he actually punched somebody in the face.
Okay, what was it, paparazzi or somebody in his face?
It was a fan.
Okay. Does he have a police record with a paper trail that says that he's, a stalker, that he's been doing all this scandalous shit? What is a stalker?
Somebody that preys on a person, follows, shows up uninvited, unannounced.
Where has he shown up uninvited, unannounced?
I haven't been following.
Where has he preyed on Kim Kardashian?
True. But how many times have you heard the very story that we're talking about? And these people haven't had a background of violence before ever. And then they end up killing everybody. They just snap. And they kill everybody, lay everybody down in the whole grocery store, in the mall.
And then themselves.
And then, exactly. Yeah. And then themselves.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm not going to follow that narrative. Like I said, this man is going through something. He lost his wife. He lost his children. And we know people personally that act crazy as hell when they break up, especially when they are not the person that initiated the breakup.
True.
He is not a freaking stalker. Stalker is when somebody calls your ass 70 times and then texts you 70 times.
He's
and then
doing
you
that
start, your girlfriend start calling you because he's calling all of them and you never knew he had the number. Stalking is when somebody has a key to your house and you never knew that he had a key to your house and you live at home and you only know there's 2 keys and the management doesn't have it. And he's coming through your fucking door.
Well, yeah, that is
when you're somewhere at school and you're walking to your car and somebody flashes their lights and you just think it's one of your students, and when you get to your car, here comes dude pulling up to your car talking about he was in the neighborhood and he only lived 45 minutes away.
Well, I think
stalking. Hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
Stalking is when you go to work, because I've been stalked.
Me too.
Stalking is when you're on your way to work and your coworkers call you and tell you that your dude is outside and you might not want to come, and you pull it into the parking lot and his big 6'5" ass is trying to stand behind a pole like he hiding and shit.
Yeah.
There's all kinds. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Because y'all keep on talking about this stalking. Write it down.
Okay.
Write it down, because y'all keep on painting this man as a stalker, and he's not a goddamn stalker. He's fighting for his family. He's fighting for his relationship. And like I say, we know men and women that do a lot of shit when they are being going through a breakup.
I think just like there's levels of mental illness, there's levels of stalking.
Yes.
It all starts off very lightweight, and then before you know it, my coworkers got to the point they didn't even want to go to lunch with me because this nigga would show up out of the blue. Here he go. I didn't tell him where I was going, but there he is. You know what I'm saying? And so it happens. It happens so gradually that then it gets to this point where, it gets real ugly. Like I said, we had a person in our neighborhood just recently. She worked as a CO at the prison. Never had no issues with this man. This man, him and his wife was getting a divorce. He came home and shot everybody, the kids, the grandmother, everybody. Never had a background of having this type of behavior. So it could happen. My concern is that he just needs to be monitored a little bit closely, or either she need to carry some heat and stay strapped.
Whatever. All of a sudden, Kim been with this man for 6 years. Well, 8 years.
She know he crazy.
She know who he is.
Yep.
She know how he get down. He wasn't. When did he become crazy? Before or after they got married?
She went into it knowing that it was something wrong.
When did he become crazy? Before or after she had 4 babies by him? Because if a nigga crazy,
he crazy,
and he mess up and get 1 baby, I'm not having multiple children with a crazy motherfucker.
Exactly.
It's called heredity. That might get in my kids' bloodline.
Oh, for sure.
So fuck that. I really don't care about what's going on with Kim and Kanye because, like he say in his lyrics, when he get on,
He leave
gonna leave
your
your
ass
spot
for a
he
white
asked for
girl.
a white
Yeah,
girl.
exactly.
And that's exactly
It's
what he did.
did.
He thought the white girl's ice was colder. And now he's having trouble. But,
Exactly.
But we're going to use this as a teaching moment.
Absolutely.
But all of a sudden, this little white plastic girl is in fear of her life from a man that has exuded all of these traits throughout their whole marriage. And now we want to paint him as this scary, angry, dangerous man. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. She got to hold her own nuts, and he got to hold his own nuts too.
Exactly. I just think of because of experience that I have witnessed and seen that it has the potential. Yeah. It does. And I think nobody is exempt from acting a fool, flipping out, snapping. And he is already showing some of those traits that he could possibly snap. That's my only concern. And I would be just as concerned with anybody for that matter. Look at Ocho Cinco when he knocked Evelyn, and she was a shit talker.
I think that's a little different because she claimed he headbutt her, and they stories have always kind of
never matched up.
Yeah, it was. I think that's a little different, but
it does happen. Though.
It does happen.
So poor men don't get over breakups. How easily? They don't get over breakups easily. How much more is it magnified when a rich man is trying to get over being divorced, and he has the money, and the money can't stop the divorce? How do you think that affects them differently than the brother that can't do anything materialistically to save the relationship?
Right.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Because he's buying her things, he got her a truckload of flowers for her birthday. He's really trying to redeem himself and get back. So that has to play on his psyche, that there's nothing he can do verbally, there's nothing he can do physically, and there's nothing he can do materialistically to get himself back in the place, wherever that place was for him.
My thought is that if he's already been diagnosed with some type of mental health, he's already been seeing a therapist, and maybe he needs to continue with his therapy to help him get through this rough process. It is a rough process, rich, poor, or otherwise. It's a rough process. A breakup is much like grief and loss. Right. It's like losing somebody.
And there's stages.
It's stages. It's 5 stages that you go through, and you kind of rotate through it for a long period of time. The only thing that's worse for them is this out in the public. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then he contributes to it being out in the public.
And everybody puts their 2 cents in it to add on to him getting mad, and angrier.
Almost like they poking a bear to see how how he's going to react. So they just let me see what he's going to do now.
Actionary person,
right.
Like typical Geminis, but
is he Gemini?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he is. But
I didn't say anything.
Fuck me. That's how I'm looking at her like she wants me to give her some work.
Gemini. Wow.
I know going through a divorce is not easy. I know that it takes work and a process to get through it, especially when kids are involved. And, we had guest speakers, male speakers on that talked about that and the effects of what comes with it after and all that. But if my soon-to-be ex-husband really wants our marriage to work and really wants to come back and give it a go and get some counseling, whatever, you can't be with no other bitches. You can't have no other bitches that look just like me that's on your arms and saying y'all together now and taking pictures and kissing and doing all this shit 1 month. And then all of a sudden, next month, you're like, okay, now I want to be back with Kim. Nope, never mind. I want to go with this new one now who looks like Kim, who's much younger. Never mind. No, I don't. I want to go back. I want my family back.
Right.
No, I don't. I want to go try this new trick. Like, you can't be doing all that and then say, oh, but he's hurting. Oh, but he wants his family back. Oh, but, no.
Okay,
Pick
so
a door, huh?
He has never said that he never wanted to get back with Kim.
He did say he wanted to get back with her.
No, I'm saying he has never said that he didn't want
Right.
to
Right.
get back with Kim. He's always professing his love, whether he's with the white girl, the other white girl, or the lookalike or whatever. He's never not said that he didn't want to get back with his wife. So those women are stupid for getting with him or staying with him or entertaining him in the first place. But maybe those are some of his coping mechanisms.
Very well.
Well, he's trying to cope.
Yes.
Well, he can cope.
But he's never said he didn't want Kim.
Right.
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 Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't say he said that, but he did say he want her back. Then he said, "No, but I'm going to go over here and fuck this bitch too.
Right.
I want my family back. But come here, you Kim number 2. Come here, because I'm gonna make you famous."
He might
quote, unquote.
have going through divorce sex.
I think though sometimes we're expecting normal behavior out of somebody that is, I don't want to say abnormal, but clearly suffers from some major mental health issues, and he's not medicated right now. So he's kind of all over the place, which is typical of people that are bipolar and are off their medication. They're all over the place. One day they're doing one thing, the next day they're over here. There's no happy medium. They're either real high or real low. So it's just, he's unpredictable at this point, I think, in his life. He don't know. He probably doesn't. He may want another shot at her, but she clearly states in everything that I've read, that's a done deal.
Yeah.
She
She already said, "Give me my name back."
Exactly.
And the judge gave it to her.
He served his purpose.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. She knew what she was doing.
They both served their purpose.
Yeah.
Let's be clear. It's both sides, because he was not a billionaire. He was in debt when he got in that marriage, and he made tweets and everything about it, like how much he was in debt, and she helped him with that. She helped.
Correction.
Go ahead.
He wasn't in debt. He said he was in $50-something million of doing his project.
Okay.
Her mother actually corrected that. Sometimes she said Kanye doesn't know how to speak. And so he said in his involvement with whatever he was doing, he was $56,000 in debt. However, that came out with the leaked prenup. Kim Kardashian did have more money than Kanye West when they got married.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I think if he had $1 million, she had $4 million. If he had $6 million, she had $9 million. And then there was a time where they wanted to do something, and she wanted him to loan her $1.6 million, although she already had it, and she said she would pay him back because they're fighting over the legality of the prenup. But yeah, she did have more money than him. She knew that at the time, and she still took him in. But he was not in debt $56 million like he was saying.
Oh, okay.
He had his money into something.
A project or whatever that.
Worth $56 million.
Got it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Got it.
Yeah. So
But he served his purpose.
Yeah,
they
definitely. They served their purpose for each other. They both got to the levels that they want. Now, as far as the divorce, I don't know, but they both helped each other get to the stages that they wanted to get to.
And I don't think that there's any chance that they're going to get back together. And I wouldn't get back together with him after he befriended Drake and he's befriended Game.
Right.
And these were the men that,
She slept with?
She allegedly slept with, and they
And
had her in their songs and their raps and stuff. So Kanye is being petty, and Kanye is a little controlling, but he was controlling throughout their relationship. He changed her style and everything. So it's outside people getting in people's business. They need to mind their freaking business right now. But he did put it out there, but she's not a damsel in distress.
Absolutely not.
No.
I just don't want to paint that picture as we say he's crazy and he's off his meds. She's not a damsel.
Oh no.
He's crazy, but she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, she's not a saint, and she knows how to play the game to get him to react.
I think from jump, she knew what she was doing.
And she likes crazy because Pete Davidson is crazy too. He say he suffers from the same thing.
He suffers from bipolar and depression.
Yes, so
Yeah.
Wow.
But they say crazy people got the best. Never mind.
Oh,
go ahead.
that's
sorry.
I heard you.
I'm sorry.
Nasty.
Go ahead.
I can attest. Anyway,
I bet you can.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke.
Nasty.
Anyway, in closing, we know that breakups are always hard. especially in the media and in the light of social media and just broadcast all over the place. It's difficult. I think what we have to keep in mind is these kids, because they're going to probably end up with one of those traits of the cuckoo-ness anyway. And I shouldn't say cuckoo-ness. I really shouldn't. I apologize for that, because mental health is real. Yeah. It's real. And those are some things that she's going to have to kind of pay attention to as those kids are growing up, and make sure that they seek help right away, or determine how they're going to handle those things, because here's a guy that I think, like you said, he's a genius, but he has some issues. And where they all stem from, we may never know, but I think that we need to be mindful of him not being medicated. Is a little scary, because he's kind of all over the place right now. So what are your closing remarks?
I would just say, be mindful of who you decide to get in a relationship with. And if you know that you can't handle dating someone with, mental health issues, don't get involved, I think she knew up front that, he had those issues. He was doing stuff prior to them getting in a marriage, like, interrupting people on stages and,
I forgot about that.
Being disruptive in, certain, interviews and all that stuff. So the signs were always there. Did we imagine it would get to this point? Probably not. But, it happens. I think that as long as he puts their information that should be private into the public for everyone to hear, see, or read, a lot of us are going to speculate and give our thoughts and kind of relate to what it is that we see, or based on our experiences in life, right? And so for Kanye, I'm going to be honest, I don't give a fuck. He made his bed, he don't mess with black women anyway. So, and I don't care about that. Like, I don't, date who you want, love who you love. I don't care. But at the same time, I do think that I wish he had someone that's in his ear to kind of pull him and be like, hey, fall back. Like, stop putting that out, on these social media platforms. Stop sharing your private messages. Stop putting your kids into the, out in the, into the forefront of like the issues that you're having. Cause it's not a good look for you, and it's not a good look for them either. Like whatever's going on between you and your soon to be ex-wife, let that be going on between y'all. Exactly. We don't need to know. And that's just my thought for that.
Mm-hmm. Seems like it's a double standard. We don't have a problem with women speaking out and letting people know what's going on when they feel in danger. But when a man speaks out, then he's crazy, cuckoo, or, talking too much. Right. But we encourage women to speak out when they feel pain and hurt. Mm-hmm. For Kanye West, time heals all wounds. You are no longer her husband. You're going to learn how to, or have to learn how to adjust to that. And that's all I have.
Okay. Well, that was a very good topic. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. Please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every single time we come on air. And thank you, BGP. We out. Bye.